Let's do the weekly astrology for March 16th through 22nd, 2025. We move in the direction of the season of Aries. Conflict will continue to arise, and with the Sun conjunction to the North Node and Neptune, we are in for an emotional ride. What we need is to understand our own deeper purpose. That is a process that will now unfold in powerful ways because the ego cannot fight on all fronts at once. The external world is on its own path. Therefore, the internal world requires us to move from our own place and purpose. Nothing else will matter, and at least we are in a place where there are no more reasonable excuses. March 17th. The moon moves into Scorpio. The sun conjuncts the North Node. We will feel the temperature rising emotionally. So much is boiling below the surface. We look out to a world that seems to be losing its mind. We can feel the internal stressors accelerating and forcing us to address what is arising before it explodes out in cataclysmic ways. It is hard to maintain hold on our old sanity when nothing is as it once was. We are still adjusting to the shift of the North Node into Pisces from January. We can feel the arch of destiny pushing us and opening us to a new and very different purpose. What is clear is that it all still feels very uncomfortable. This is not the time to act, but to stand in the place of center and to listen very carefully. The heart longs for the connection that shows us divine guidance. We are hungry for feeling any form of reconnection that will allow us to make sense out of all of this. The only thing that can allow us to do that is this type of extreme astrology. While we may not like it, it is going to be very good in the long run. March 19th, Neptune will move into Cazimi. The feelings arising are causing us to question our heart. The feelings that are present today are pushing up against the fourth chakra, the heart. If you allow what you feel to be moved into and through the compassion of the heart, that will change, and you with them. Often such a moment drastically shifts our perspective, and that is often at the root of all the problems currently in play. We cannot learn to sort and integrate intuitive knowing without moving emotions beyond the reactive state of being that they often exist in. Only when our gut is aligned with our deepest compassionate state of soul essence can we actually begin to understand the truer meaning of our emotions and the messages that are attempting to carry that they are attempting to carry to our highest self. Only the filtering process of our compassionate essence can the cognitive mind begin to trust and understand the patterns and flows of our right brain. This moment can show us that we are actually in a living and breathing dream. It can show us that this moment is not the reality, but only a mirror that is there to cause us to finally notice the haze at the edges and the fractures in the hologram. This is a moment that you can begin to awaken within the dream, and from that place actually move within the dream consciously and from a place of choice and mastery. We are being invited into the pool of mastery if you are willing to become more sensitized to the powerful flows of information and creative expression that is desperately seeking a place to connect and land. This could be your moment. Are you really ready? Are you willing? March 20th. The sun moves into Aries and the moon moves into Sagittarius. We are entering into the astrological beginning of a new year. We are a baby fighting to move out of an area of constriction and into a vast and very different world. While it is scary, it can also be exciting. Besides, there's no turning back now. What lies ahead is a great unknown. There is something pushing us to come out. The old is now so uncomfortable, it is crushing us. While Aries is an externally driven sign, Venus in retrograde is retrograde and pushing those driving forces ever more deeply inward. Instinct tells us that we should leap. Our mind tells us it is dangerous. Aries energy does not care about the danger. It thrives living on the edges. It comes alive at the edges of death and life. Let this moon in Sagittarius give you the spirit of adventure to leap beyond the known confines of your reality. After all, if you really have your eyes open, you can now see you are in a cage, and those in power want to give you even less room or air to breathe. They want to suffocate your spirit and drive you to collapse. So it is time to break out of that cage and to not care who you upset in the process. Freedom comes at a cost. Most are not willing to pay the price. Will you? March 22nd. The moon moves into Capricorn and Venus is at a star point. Today is a day when death meets birth. Today is a day when the cosmos could directly speak to you. The power of Venus is heightened, and the force of her light today is going to give you a gift if you are willing to follow her into the forceful sequences as she combats the god of war, Aries, with her greatest weapon, love. She is like the goddess Inanna, descending into the underworld to show you what you have forgotten, what is missing, and what you have left behind. Only the bravest and boldest will take this quest. Only those prepared and ready will take that leap, because they know that this is a rare moment that has the power to cleanse the soul and purify the heart. While such a moment can take time to recalibrate and align this new you that is awakening, it is coming to you to release what has kept you from feeling worthy. Beauty is reclaimed and energy is recharged. From letting go and embracing the fear of the world and the emptiness that seems to have existed forever, we finally decide to come home to what we have longed to find. This is a week where the mirror becomes clear. This is a week when one moment or one encounter could change you forever. The connections that have been lacking finally seem to cosmically align, and life can become an invitation to an amazing dance. When we finally see the inner beauty, we can no longer hide from what was told to us about us from those that too were ensnared in the shadows and the darkness of fear. We learn that life is waiting for us to come and claim it. Take this invitation and plunge into what is next. Whatever we face, we now know that we can survive and thrive no matter what comes our way, if we are ready.